The clinking of crystal glasses froze in midair when Armin Hale looked up from his gold-trimmed menu and saw a face he never thought he would see again. For a split second, the world around him, the polished marble floors, the sunlight pouring through tall restaurant windows, the murmurs of wealthy guests, faded into nothing. Standing in front of him with a notepad in her trembling hands was the girl who once shared half her lunch with him in a dusty schoolyard. But now, instead of dreams in her eyes, there was exhaustion. Before we go any further, if you believe in kindness and second chances, take a moment to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Pure Kindness. Your support keeps these stories alive. It was a bright afternoon in early spring, the kind of day where sunlight feels warm but not heavy. Armin, now a self-made billionaire in his early 30s, had just closed a major investment deal downtown. His tailored navy suit fit perfectly against his athletic frame, and a small silver watch gleamed on his wrist. Success followed him like a shadow. Yet nothing in his carefully structured life prepared him for this moment. The waitress standing before him was Mira Dostan. Her blonde hair was tied back in a simple ponytail, her black uniform neat but worn at the edges. Her once vibrant hazel eyes looked cautious, almost guarded. She had been the brightest student in their class, the one who always volunteered answers, the one who believed she would change the world. Armin remembered how she used to encourage him when he was the shy scholarship kid who barely spoke. Time had rewritten their destinies in cruel ways. Mira recognized him too. Her fingers tightened around the notepad, and for a second she seemed unsure whether to smile or look away. She chose professionalism over nostalgia, lowering her gaze slightly as she took his order. Armin felt something twist painfully inside his chest. He had spent years building companies, acquiring properties, making headlines. But he had never once wondered what happened to the girl who once defended him from bullies. After she walked away, Armin couldn't focus on the menu. His mind drifted back to those sunlit school days. He remembered Mira sitting beside him under a neem tree, sharing her sandwiches because she knew he often skipped lunch to save money. He remembered her telling him that no matter where life took them, they would both succeed in their own ways. He had believed her. When she returned with his meal, Armin finally noticed the faint bruising near her wrist and the tired slump of her shoulders. This wasn't just someone working hard, this was someone carrying the weight of something heavier. He quietly asked the restaurant manager about her. What he learned shattered him. Mira's father had passed away during her final year of college. Medical bills consumed their savings. She dropped out to support her younger brother. Scholarships slipped away. Dreams dissolved. She had been working double shifts for years. Armin stared at the sunlight reflecting off the polished table. Success suddenly felt hollow. Without drawing attention, he finished his meal and left a tip that exceeded the entire day's revenue of the restaurant. But money alone felt like an insult to the friendship they once had. He requested to speak to her privately in the manager's office. Mira hesitated but agreed. Inside that small, quiet room, daylight streamed through a narrow window. Armin looked at her, not as a billionaire, but as the boy who once borrowed her notes before exams. He told her he had never forgotten her kindness. He admitted that without her encouragement, he might never have had the courage to pursue the scholarship that changed his life. Mira's composure broke for the first time. Tears welled up, not from shame, but from being remembered. What Armin did next was something no one in that restaurant expected. He handed her a folder. Inside were documents establishing a full scholarship fund in her name, covering her unfinished degree and securing her brother's education as well. But he didn't stop there. He offered her a leadership role in one of his foundation's community outreach programs, explaining that someone who understood struggle was exactly who he needed by his side. Mira was speechless. Years of silent endurance cracked open in that moment. For the first time in a long while, hope replaced exhaustion in her eyes. Over the next months, Mira returned to university during the day and worked part-time by choice, not necessity. Armin's foundation expanded its educational grants under her direction. The waitress who once carried plates under the midday sun was now shaping policies that helped hundreds of struggling students. And Armin? He found something far greater than business success. He found gratitude. He often said that the most profitable investment he ever made wasn't in stocks or real estate, it was in remembering where he came from. If this story touched your heart, don't scroll away silently. Like this video, share it with someone who needs a reminder that kindness always comes full circle, and subscribe to Pure Kindness to keep these stories alive. And please, take a moment to comment, kindness always wins, if you believe one small act can change a lifetime. Because sometimes, the brightest futures are built from the kindness we once gave freely under the open sky.